We are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have a magnificent guest with us today, one who is going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than our family and friend, Sister Student Captain Maalikah Muhammad out of Houston, Texas. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. Wa alaikum salam.
Thank you very, very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the People's Podcast. This means a lot to me, my family, the viewing audience of the People's Podcast, and people all around the world who watched the first interview and gave us nothing but positive feedback. So we had to make sure that we made it a part two. Man, this means a lot to us, and people are already showing love. The first question that we have for you, ma'am, is Camilas Closet. Can you explain to us what the business venture is and how did you come up with the name?
Okay. Well, first of all, let me just thank you, for having me back on the show. I'm very, very, very honored. I was honored the very first time and really humbled and honored that you even thought enough to invite me to come on, because I've watched the People's Podcast and you've had some phenomenal guests. You do an amazing job. So to be included among those people, I'm very honored and humbled by, the invitation, and to be asked again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So now Camilas Closet is my online clothing business that I started when Camila, my daughter, was 4 years old. Camila's 21 now, but we started when she was 4 years old. And it was, I've known how to sew since I was 7 or 8 years old, but it was really just always out of a need. It's not something that I just wanted to do. I learned to do it. My mother, my aunt were seamstresses, and I learned to do it. So when I needed to make a little extra money, I'd sew for my neighbors, or, when I needed a debutante gown, I'd make it. So I always knew how to sew, but I didn't really do it a lot. And we would do these different events in Houston, and I'd have another sister to make my garments. And I wanted something for Camila to match, because I think oftentimes, we'll dress ourselves up and forget that our little girls want to be beautiful as well.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Of course, the challenges that I had was finding something that was age appropriate and beautiful for her and reflective of our culture. So I had gotten a sister to make. I was going to get her to make a garment for Camila, and I was like, now why would I do that? I mean, I could just make it myself, So I started, just making it myself. But the motivation was, as I said, to find something that was age appropriate, that was reflective of our culture, and that she could feel beautiful and be in alignment with what we're taught and what we believe. So that was the motivation behind it. I started sewing again, and actually the name Camilas Closet, my dear sister and friend, Sister Nisa Islam Muhammad, is actually the one who came up with the name. She came up with the name Camilas Closet. When she talks about the prayer line, the Ummah Reflects Now, she always gives me credit for her starting it here at my home, which she did. The very first one, she was here at my home. But I said, you know what? I have to make sure that everyone knows that she actually came up with the name Camilas Closet. And I loved it.
Wonderful. All praises due to Allah. Shout out to Camilas Closet. We're going to stay right there. My sister Miriam sends a greeting. Sister Naima, Brother Damien, and Sister Miriam says, thank you for for your contribution to fly Islamic modest fashion. Yes, and speaking of fly Islamic fashion, where can we and how can we support the business and get the garments? What's the age limit? But of course to the sisters, but what about to the brothers? I have, sisters, nieces. I want to give a gift. What do I like? How do let the brothers be a part of it as well? How can we support?
So we actually do make suits for leisure suits more specifically for brothers, but we do suits as well. I mean, you can see my husband all the time. He wears Camilas Closet all the time. They take a little bit more work because I need a person here present in my with me to do it. The leisure suits are a little bit easier to do online, and we can do those pretty standardly. So that's the thing that we focus on mostly is the leisure suits. And those actually have become very popular because here in Houston and probably most of the cities in the South, is very hot, as the brothers are out on the corner. And so they've been, from what I understand, been given permission to, to dress down a bit in the leisure suits. So they've become very popular. So we make those, and brothers can get them in all colors. And one of the things that I'll talk about, one of the goals for Camilas Closet a little bit later, but we want to make sure that they're comfortable, durable and comfortable for the brothers. So this month, as a matter of fact, is Men's Health Month, and we've been doing a promotion, encouraging men to purchase the leisure suits with a discount off. Now, as far as women, Camilas Closet started for children only. It was only for children, and people would ask me, well, what, can you make me a garment? Because, of course, it was for children, but if Camila had it, I'd make me one too. But I'd always say, I don't do garments for big people, just little people garments. But of course, we would do the drill team garment every year. And as she grew, the garments the garments grew. So that's actually how we started doing the garments for adults, is because she grew, and while she was still a teenager, she's tall. And so she was taller than a lot of sisters. And they'd be like, well, if you can make it for her, definitely you can make it for me. So while we don't do a lot of children's clothes anymore, we still can, and we will. So you can purchase Camilas Closet garments online at camilascloset.com. We have Facebook and Instagram, but we do have a website. And while we have a variety of different garments on there, the beautiful thing about Camilas Closet is they're made to order. So we generally don't carry standard sizes. So, it can be made to whatever size person you want it to be. So if that's a little person, we can make it for a little person. So they're made to order. And then we also have the feature where you can customize a garment. So if you want something that's different than what we offer, and it's for a little person or whatever person, we can do that as well. But to your question, camilascloset.com is where you can go directly to our website to do it. And I still will take orders. People call me, and I try to shy away from that. My team would prefer that I didn't do it, but you know what? I do that as well. But camilascloset.com is the official place to place an order.
Wonderful. All praises due to Allah. And thank you to everyone who's showing love. Let's make sure we all go to Camilas Closet via the website as well as social media. Sister Shan, walaikum salam, ma'am. Sister Mariam says she absolutely loves her garment from Camilas Closet. Camilas Closet, the quality is next level. Sister Lawida, assalamu alaikum salam. Brother Hebrew, mark me present. Sister Shan says she's definitely going to get her some. And Sister Attorney Sadia Kareem says, assalamu alaikum, she has about 40 plus Camilas Closets, mini closet, racks broken. Beautiful.
Absolutely. I think she has more Camilas Closet than me.
Yes, ma'am. Excellent. Now, Oko, before we go to the next question, so I see Sister Sadia Kareem and other sisters modeling your garments. For the brothers, if you need somebody to, for the suit, what I'm saying, just let you know. We help you promote. Just let me know.
We got you. All you got to do is just send me your size, and it's done. Send me your size, and it's done.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to speak with you about mental health. This is something that I'm very passionate about, and we are very passionate about mental health and mental wellness on the People's Podcast. What advice do you give to people who are handling or striving to handle mental health challenges?
Wow, that's a great question, and definitely a great thing to be concerned about. I know that I believe that I don't have any statistics before me, but I certainly do believe the occurrences of mental health challenges or issues is definitely on the rise. And so I always would encourage anyone to seek out some assistance, seek out help. Don't ever feel like you're at the end of it, because it's easy to just ball up in a knot, or even go to the extreme and take your life. Well, it's not easy to take your life, but that is ultimately, I guess, the easier way out. But I would say to try your best to hold on and seek out whatever type of therapy you find that works for you. A number of years ago, as you know, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan introduced us to the tool of Dianetics. And while I never would, I can be as transparent as I know to be, I don't know that I would have qualified as someone that was mentally ill, but I certainly did have challenges. I mean, you got to just be born Black in America and deal with some of the issues that we deal with. You're going to have some challenges. And as one who has been responsible for the teaching and training of women for the number of years that I've done it, growing up in the South, Mississippi, there are things that you face and things that you have to overcome. So when he introduced us to the tool of Dianetics, I was very grateful to be among the first to go and become a Dianetic auditor, and then use that tool, for my own self, to relieve some of the aberration and stuff that I was dealing with that, would be certainly classified as mental illness. So I would say that, he gave us that tool. I won't say that it is the only tool, but he certainly gave us that tool, and it's been quite efficient and effective for me. And I've seen how it's been effective for other people who have used, that tool. But I would say seek out some help, seek out, don't be afraid to say, that I'm having difficulty. And you'll find that, the person right next to you is having it too. And or the person that you think that you can't talk to is the one that you can. But seek out help. Don't worry about being embarrassed or any of that. Mental, it would be akin to if you had a really bad stomach ache and you needed some help. Would you be embarrassed to tell somebody, I need help, or, I'm cramped, whatever, I got to get to emergency or something? It's mental illness is nothing to be afraid of, or, the mental challenges that we face, it's nothing to be afraid of or embarrassed about, should I say. So I would definitely encourage, seek help, seek help. We have to definitely seek assistance through patience and prayer, but we know that Allah answers prayer through men and women. So we pray for some help, but then find out that man or that woman that can help you, in your situation. Yeah.
Beautiful. All praise due to Allah. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone who is showing love all around the world. Thank you, Brother Nelson Ramos. Thank you to our Hebrews, Psalms, Romans brother. Thank you, everyone. To our YouTube family, Brother Kente, Brother Musa, Sister Auntie, Sister Hope, everyone on YouTube is showing love, Brother Gentleman as well. I wanted to say right there, so you're in the Southwest region. Some say the Southwest region.
I mean, most say Southwest, but I
Yes, ma'am. And many of the sisters who watch the People's Podcast are from around the world. Do you mind if they reach out to you on social media for assistance and for some guidance?
Absolutely not. I would definitely welcome it. Actually, I would welcome it. I don't mind, sharing, my story or difficulties or struggles that I've overcome, by Allah's grace and mercy and his intervention. So I absolutely don't mind. It's my honor and it's my duty, to share and to assist. So there is no way that I don't mind. I would be honored for a sister to reach out, to really, that's that's a compliment to trust me enough to reach out to see, if I can offer something, or to think that I have something to offer that will help. That's a true compliment. So absolutely, yes, please do. Because I want to see Camilas Closet, as just maybe a platform to be able to do, some bigger things and offer some bigger things in the way of service to our people. That's the motivation in the beginning, was to provide something, that we needed, that we did not have. But it just can't end with there. It's not just about having on a beautiful garment or whatever, or it's not certainly not about making a bunch of money while we want it, but it has to be a bigger goal, a bigger game, if you will, a bigger idea. And if it creates the platform for me to be able to help more people in whatever way that I can, then I'm very grateful for that. And then that means that, it's serving the purpose that I believe that it should. For sure.
Beautiful. All praises to Allah. Yes, ma'am. And we have, thank you all for all the questions in the comments. Sister Camila, hence Camila's Closet, says ASA, walaikum salam, all praises due to Allah. Brother Daniel E, assalamu alaikum, walaikum salam, sir. Thank you all very much. He said that's the truth about the duty of a Muslim. Excellent, wonderful. And speaking of your daughter, the great drilling instructor, and so much more, shout out to her with college and everything else. I wanted to ask you, the last time we spoke, it was before you came out as a DI, shocked the world. How was that experience for you drilling, man?
Oh, me? Is that what we called it? You know what, That is really funny. It was a big thing for me to confront. Now that's one way I can definitely bear witness to Dianetics getting rid of some of the aberrations and the insecurities. That was a big confront for me. You know, I would never have done that
Mm,
before. But you know, the sisters again thought enough of me to want me to participate and ask me to participate. And all the way along, I was like, no way, no, absolutely no way. You know, even I had a uniform and I was like, well, I'll just be sitting in the audience with it on. No way I will do that. But, you know, again, the fact that they wanted, because they were a phenomenal team. They were amazing, absolutely amazing. And for them to want me to come out there and create a part specifically for me, you know, I was like, you know, how could I not? So I was up there for all of 3 seconds, you know, but but you know, I was, you know, it was a surreal and amazing experience. So yeah, I got up there. It's funny because I was supposed to come out, say my part, turn around and walk off the stage, but I couldn't get off. So I just had to
mhm.
sit there and just improvise and salute at the end. So it was really good. You know, I loved being a part of the team. You know, I actually was on the drill team back in the day, but it's been
Okay.
a number of years, a number of years. So yeah, it was great. It was great. It's funny though. Camila was like, "Mom, let me show you how to do this," and you know, I'm like, "Ma'am, I don't need you to show me how to do, you know." But I really should have humbled myself and just let her show me some things because it's been a while. It's been a while, but it was great. It was a great experience.
Yes, ma'am. Phenomenal. And for us to be in the audience, I was sitting with my family, of course, and my dad. And I was like, Dad, look what he said. I know that, sister. Like and we were so excited. Everybody started screaming. I was like, Dad, you know, he was like, I see this again. I see this again. So, you know, it was beautiful to know that you do that. The culture of Houston is very similar to the culture of Atlanta, where the whole mosque, the
Yeah.
team, here are the children, here's the, so to see everybody come together, that's beautiful.
It's a
And
family. You're right. It's very, very similar to Atlanta. And, you know, I was like, oh, honey, I was only out there for 3 seconds. He was like, no, the people were cheering when you got out there. I was like, I was gone probably by the time they figured out who it was. But to do it was something. But you're right. It's a mosque family. It's a mosque family here. And I know it's like that in Atlanta too.
yes, ma'am. And I really wish that we can find it. Somebody will post it on YouTube, or we got to search for it because I'll share it on my page as well. Because I just think it was next level. And I told Sister Attorney Sadia Kareem once she got off the stage, I said that was one of the greatest MGT routines we've ever
Yeah.
seen. So, you know, shout out to the MGT Houston Mosque Level 45 for holding it down per usual. Sister Khadija Kareem, since agrees, Walaikum Salam. Sister Khadija, Camilas Closet, she can hook your daughters up with the garments, and then your daughter says she was following in your footsteps. You following her footsteps. LOL. You did amazing. So that's always good for you.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Now you for years you were a judge at the drill competition, and
Mhm.
which is great, and we honor and respect that. What advice would you give to the drill teams around the world, the people who are aspiring to start drill teams, and what should they do in the different cities outside of LA, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Houston, Miami, just a new team? What advice would you give to them for what the eye of the judge, what you were seeing, they should start with?
Well, I think that the first thing, of course, is to start, you know, definitely to do it. Sometimes I would imagine that some of the smaller teams are intimidated, you know, intimidated because they're small, you know, they may not have as many people used to think that we groomed girls here, that we just bred them for the, you know, for the team. Because our junior team was so big and then our Vanguard team, you know, so they may not have, you know, a team that's huge like that. But you know, the minimum number that you need is 7. So I would say, you know, start with what you have. And I would encourage them to certainly watch, you know, watch the videos of the phenomenal teams that have gone out there because there are some amazing routines. You know, the brothers and the sisters have done some amazing routines. And you know what, there is, you know, it's advanced a lot, you know, so I know that there's a guidebook that comes out for what the different rules are, you know, be specific about that. I mean, you know, pay attention and follow the rules that are given as they are. But I think that one of the things that I believe with Houston's drill team, and I'm talking specifically about the juniors that grew into Vanguard, and our team that we had last year was the first time we ever had an MGT team on the national stage. So that was new for us. But for the other team that has grown, they sincerely developed a sisterhood. They were like family. They grew together. They practiced together. They went out together. They went to school together. So drill created a bond for them, and and I think that that's important for the team to develop a bond, because it transcends, it exudes, that bond, that sisterhood, and that discipline to come together and be one. So I think that it cannot be something that they just start, a month or two before Savior's Day. Start working on building that bond and really showing the trueness and the sincerity of the sisterhood, before getting ready for a drill competition, because then it's just a performance. I think, the believers could really feel the spirit of drill, feel the spirit from the sisters, from the Houston drill team. Whether if you turn the volume down and just watched, you still could see, the connection of them together. And that didn't just happen by, practicing a month or two before Savior's Day. So start now, doing things together, building a relationship, and then, being creative with the routine. I mean, that wows the audience for sure, being creative. And then with the junior teams, of course, we can be very creative with the uniforms. We come up with, every year we try to do something to outdo the year before. I mean, you don't have that ability to do that as you get older, like with the Vanguard, but you can be creative in in your execution of the drill, and in displaying, the basic drills, the complexity. You can be creative with those types of things. But I think the thing that needs to exude is the energy and the bond between the team, that you start working on that before the exercise is done, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. All praises due to Allah. And thank you, Sister Attorney Sadia Kareem sent me the video. It is on YouTube. See, nobody knows. I didn't know. Okay, yes, ma'am. So shout out to the MGT. And thank you, Sister Khadija Kareem. This is her first time watching. She says, praise be to Allah. Yes, ma'am. Beautiful. I want to make sure that, hold on here. Here we go. And you all, because our YouTube family always shows love, and we always want to make sure that please let us know what city everyone is watching from. And if you have any more guest suggestions, feel free to let us know in the comments, so that we can show love to all of our the family. It's a word of mouth. That's where most of our guests come from. So even for our sister, who we refer to as T Maalikah, and it used to be T Valerie, now we call it T Maalikah. Everybody kept saying, when you bringing her back, she's doing this, she's doing. I said, yes, ma'am. Okay, all right, got it. My sister. Yes, ma'am. And we with the People's Podcast. I'm listening, ma'am. Production. He has a fourth. What you say, Sister Catherine?
No, I was just saying, when you called me, of course I saw your number, I'm answering it, and I always think it's something else. And when you said about coming back on the show, I was like, okay, I probably shouldn't have answered that. I probably shouldn't have answered that one today. Because I'm like, I'm thinking, I know that you have, like I said, such amazing guests, and we undervalue ourselves and think we don't have anything to say. But my prayer is always to Allah that whenever I share anything, if it affects one life, then all praise is due to Allah. So and then I have to just step out there. I say I'm going to step out there, so I have to just challenge myself and step out there more, for sure.
Wonderful. And we have so many more questions for our sister student captain. We have a brief 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. Thank you for every like, share, subscription all around the world, as well as every anonymous Cash App. One moment. And we are live with the People's Podcast. Street Premiere Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Please reach out if you need any of that. Sister Naima, Stay On Point Dance Academy. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country. Sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me children's book and coloring book. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ. My two books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Wonderful. And shout out to another sister that's in Houston, Sister Rashida from Houston, sister, who actually made the commercial. So shout out to her as well. Great driller, always here. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for showing love. Okay, my next question for you. Some people, man, wow, all praise due to Allah. Brother Jeffrey Muhammad says, watching from Missouri City, Texas. Thank you very much. Sister Cassandra Muhammad says, Brother Mustafa A. Muhammad, all praise due to Allah. People are showing love. I wanted to, on behalf of myself and my family and the viewing audience and the People's Podcast, thank you for one of the greatest experiences that I've ever had taken place was when I came to Houston with my parents. Of course, I'm very close with my mother, so I'm going to say with my mom, you know what I'm saying? And we got to see you all honor her and make a cake, and the sisters from the Southwest region came out and drilled and had all these colors. And I don't even think we was like, TikTok definitely was not a thing. Oh. Facebook was a thing, but we should have went live. If I would have known how it was, I would have brought the camera and everything, because I came back and told my sisters and my brother about it. It was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had take place in my entire life, to feel the love of the sisterhood, the mosque, the event that Saturday, the Sunday, the mosque meeting. Houston really showed out. I really just felt connected to you all ever since, my whole life. But that event showed respect and honor, and I was like, man, that's crazy. And inshallah, when they do something for you, I want to be a part of it. Y'all let me know when y'all do something to honor our sister, Student Captain Maalikah. I like to be a part of it. But I just wanted to thank you publicly and let the people who watch the People's Podcast know Houston has the hospitality is unmatched. It was a great experience, and I just wanted to know what made you want to do an event like that, because that's not something that people I've seen done all the time.
Yeah, I know. We always say that we have to give people their flowers while they live, but it becomes cliche. Actually, we say it, but we don't really actually do it. But I wanted, I really wanted to honor your mom. She was coming actually to do some training for us. Where she's the epitome of a vanguard, and when I first became a regional captain, she was there as I don't even know, I was so new, I don't even know what her title was, but I don't know if she was a National Vanguard captain then or not, but she absolutely embraced me. She embraced me, because I would actually have been Vanguard age, but I wasn't. I was in the, I was the captain and then the regional captain, but she embraced me. And so while I did not have the opportunity to actively be involved in a Vanguard class because I was the captain, she always included me, like at the retreats, or she would always include me in different things. And so she was just a phenomenal example. She was, Vanguard extraordinaire. And when we wanted to do some training, we were bringing her down to help us with the training. And it was just like the perfect opportunity to say thank you and just to make over her. So she didn't know that we were going to we brought in Sister Nusable to surprise her, because that's her understudy. That's the best thing that I could say, her understudy, and we wanted to honor her. And I just felt that there was no one that I could think of that was more deserving. She's always so giving, just willing to give and willing to help. And again, just include me in I could learn how to do things from a distance, while I'm over the Vanguard. I'm like, I don't know what to do, but so I had to give back. And it was just the perfect opportunity, for me to do that. And the sisters in the region were so excited, to come and to listen to whatever she wanted to talk about, So it really, I just wanted to, I wanted the opportunity to give back. So there was no, it wasn't her birthday or anything like that. It was just a way to say thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. And, she wasn't actively the National Vanguard captain anymore, but, that kind of, you can't just ignore or disregard or discount the value and the wealth of knowledge that, Sister Sharifa held. And so I just wanted to say thank you. And the sisters, like I said, they were equally as excited as me. That was not something that I had to sell or had to convince. Yeah. So, and then I love your family. Sister Sharifa was so open and so warm with me. I used to stay at your home.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm brand new as a captain, and I'm staying with her and at the Supreme Captain's home. And I was like, okay, so what did I do to deserve this? So she let me stay at your home, on more than one occasion. And she stayed at my home, so I had to, I had to do it. I had to do it. I wanted to do it. Yeah.
All praises due to Allah. Beautiful. And I want to make sure that I shout out to Sister Sadia, I want to say Isha Muhammad, but Rashida's sister. That's how I know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? As well. Thank you very much. My sister Naima says thank you for honoring our mother. Sister Miriam says thank you for giving Sister Sharifa her flowers while she could still smell them. Thank you for being her sister. Beautiful. All right, people from all around Houston. Sister Iris says, God T. Iris watching from Humble, Texas. That's my sister regional captain. Shout out to you too, nephew. Thank you, Sister Iris. Sister Captain, can you please apply some pressure to get Sister Iris to come on people's podcast? Sister Mary, Sister Jennifer says you are amazing. Sister Student Captain Maalikah, amazing spirit. It shines through the screen and beautiful. Okay, also, I saw Brother Jeffrey. Shout out to your husband as well, and of course your daughter. And all the believers from Houston. I wanted to ask you about being such a young captain in the nation. How was that experience, and what advice would you give to other believers around the country, primarily the youth who are going into being a laborer, student laborers?
Yeah. I mean, in retrospect, I would say do it. I didn't even know what a captain was. I will be honest with you. I saw a place where I could love Black people and I could serve God. And that was it. I had found the place to be when I joined the Nation of Islam. So unfortunately, I was just telling someone today, I had one processing class. And I'd been in the nation not very long when Brother Halim asked me to serve on the post for 90 days. And I sincerely thought he was serious when he said that. He probably was serious when he said it, but it changed somewhere along the way. But I really wanted to serve and help Black people. So that was just my motivation. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I definitely didn't know that it was in the form of a captain. I didn't have no idea what a captain was supposed to do or was expected to do. Did no captain's training class to, for it. But I just wanted to help. And so I would, encourage the young people to get in there and help your nation. When I got a bit of consciousness, I wanted to help. I saw, or from my vantage point at that time, I saw what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was doing, what he represented, and I wanted to help him. And whatever that looked like, however I needed to show up and do that, I wanted to do it. So age was not even an issue. I don't feel like I missed out on anything, that I needed to be a part of. I missed out on some stuff, but praise be to Allah. But I wanted to help, and I wanted to be a part of the resurrection of our people. I really wanted that to be a part of my legacy. We talked about the hereafter. Still want to be around and help to usher it in. It's not just for my children or my grandchildren. I want to be in the hereafter with them, but I wanted to really be an active part of it. I would always hear people talk about what they would have done. No, I want to do it. I want to be a part of this movement. So young people, who may feel like they need to do a little bit more or wait until they get older. No, we need the youth right on the front line right now. I've been at this thing for a very long time in this post. And, as they say, I ain't no ways tired. I feel like there's so much more for me to do. But young sisters, we have a phenomenal first officer who hails from Atlanta, Sister Oshia, you may know her, young white sister, young lieutenants and soldiers. It's their time to take it to the next level, and me serving and, continue to serve in our nation. But it's their time to step up and be the leadership, be the squad leaders, be the lieutenants, be the laborers, be the leadership in our nation, because we want to stay relevant. We want to stay relevant for the youth. The youth are the ones who, are going to usher it in. So I would encourage anybody, your time, your talent, your energy, it's for your nation. It should be for your nation. Your nation has to come first. We say that the nation will never, it fell, rose never to fall again, but we got to make sure of that. We got to be involved and make sure of that. Otherwise, we believe in a spook God. So we got to do something to make sure that it does not fall again and be an active part of that. So, I know in Houston they have nation building, and I know in Atlanta they do too. But come on, be about building a nation and helping the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in this nation. And there's you can have fun while you do that. We all want everything to be fun, but you can have fun while you do that. I've had some of the most fun, in the Nation of Islam and with the sisters and the brothers that I've met along the way. I can't imagine what my life would be like without the brothers and sisters in the Nation of Islam. So striving to be a righteous Muslim, working on behalf of our nation is fun. And I want to see every young person get involved and help, in this mission. So I would encourage them to do it. They're not too young. No, not too young. I mean, I think Brother Nuri was quite young when he became a student minister. That's a student regional captain in the 7th region was quite young when she became the captain. So hey, they have the energy to do it, so absolutely.
All praise to Allah. And people are showing you love all around the world. Sister Kathleen J. Muhammad says, that's right. Sister Shantae X. Craig, all praise to Allah. Sister Iris says, that's right. Sister Mary L. Muhammad says, we love you very, very much, Sister Captain. And then, people are just showing you love all around the world. You spoke previously of our sister Nisa Islam, and she's a great guest as well, Auntie Nisa, and someone who we enjoy when she comes on the People's Podcast. One of the questions I asked her and many of the sisters, so we want it on the record, even though the show gets off the record, are you saying that women in Islam are not oppressed?
Do I say that women in Islam are not oppressed?
Yes, ma'am.
Women in the Nation of Islam.
That's what I'm referring to.
Yeah, I don't think that women in the Nation of Islam are oppressed. I don't know if somebody would kick me under my feet, but I think, one of the things that my brother joined the Nation of Islam before I did in Chicago, and actually seeing the change in him is what made me, listen, because the minister was very much in the news and it was always some kind of controversy. But I said to myself, I don't care what he's teaching, whatever it is, it can't be all bad because I see the change in my brother. So I started listening to the teachings for myself. And the way that when my brother encouraged me to listen to the minister, and I think I was going to have the opportunity to go see him, he referred to him way back then as he's the greatest women's liberator that I've ever seen or ever met. I always remembered, over the years, I've wondered why he referred to him that way. He referred to him as a women's liberator. And I mean, so I feel like and I know that in the Nation of Islam, while, we say home is our base, but you have the ability to rise and do whatever your God-given talents will allow you to do.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not unrealistic to think that there are no isms. I'm certain that there's sexism and, all of those things and chauvinism for sure. But I in no way feel, oppressed in the Nation of Islam. And I couldn't be a part of that. I traveled to Africa by myself with American Express card before I joined the Nation of Islam. I was a free thinker and a free spirit. Now, I don't say that to encourage anybody else to do that, because that was, it was only by Allah's grace and his protection of me that in my foolishness, I would do something like that. But I'm saying that I've always been a free thinker and, very, very much so. So I couldn't join something and be a part of something that I felt oppressed me because I'm a woman. I just couldn't. So I don't see that. Now, I don't know if that's a popular answer, but that's my answer. I'm sticking with that one.
All praise be to Allah. Shout out to all of the MGT and the women who were taught Islam North America, and of course all around the world, who come on and just show this. We want this on the record to show the world that you can be, express yourself and beautiful.
Yeah.
Sister Iris said, oppressed, Master Muhammad came to free us. Sister Kathleen said, the greatest, all praises to Allah. Sister Nafisa says, we just had this conversation. Excellent. Brother Kente says, assalamu alaikum, salam, dear family. Good answer. And Sister Monifa says, all praises due to Allah. Okay, so let's talk about your brother. I didn't know you had a brother who introduced you to the teachers. How did that come about?
I do. Well, actually, he was processing, but my sister, which is his twin, is the one who actually gave me the lecture. She gave me Power at Last Forever, and I listened to it probably until it was on a cassette, probably until it broke, and then he was processing at the time. So my sister introduced me. My brother was processing in Chicago. But what I remembered, I guess, that auditing came in handy again, too, because I went back and I remembered when I was 10 years old, my sister took me to the mosque in Jackson, Mississippi. She took me to the mosque. And then I remembered when I was in high school, my oldest brother was an attorney in Mississippi, and he actually was around when the minister stood back up and was coming through Mississippi, building the nation again. Yeah, actually, he it's a long history, but he represented one of the minister's good friends in a murder trial in Shula, Mississippi. So my brother, I remember when I was in high school, he was reading How to Eat to Live. And I remember seeing it on my mother's table. And I read through a few of the pages and I was like, not gonna finish reading this one right now. Maybe don't want to see this right now, maybe later on. So yeah, so I've had the influence that I didn't even realize. But when my brother in Chicago, a wonderful, wonderful brother, he's such a kind, gentle soul, but he was of the world. And so, they used to do things and I saw the change in him and I was like, okay, I got to take note. I got to pay attention because whatever it is, it can't be all bad. It can't be bad. There has to be some good here. So yeah, my brother's in mosque number 2 in Chicago.
Yes, what's his name? What's the twin's name? The sister?
My brother is Brother Tony. I don't know what his number would be. No, two. Brother Tony,
Okay.
it was 2X. Brother Tony.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
And then he's in Chicago. And then my sister, who actually, like I said, she brought me to Mosque 45. She was here in law school. And so she took me to Mosque 45. Her name is Sister Elizabeth X, and she's a student recorder in what was South Haven Study Group. I think it may be the Memphis Study Group now. But she took me there, and she used to tell people, of course, I came in, I joined the nation, I became the captain, became very active, and she would tell people that, and then she started processing. So I registered before her. She'd tell people she was processing for 30 years. I said, no. Don't tell anybody that. That is nothing to brag about.
Yeah.
But she joined, and she is the student recorder. So she joined some years ago. In fact, I had the honor of listening to her recite. She recited to me, and I was able to give her a bar pen.
All praises due to Allah. See, I never knew any of this. Is People's Podcast. So y'all come, stay tuned in. We learn the family.
I mean, my nephew is in the nation as well. He and his family. My brother, my oldest brother that I said was actually, I would say in parentheses, a friend or definitely acquaintance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. His son is a member of the Nation of Islam too, here in Houston now. Yeah, so got a couple of generations in there now.
Beautiful. All praises due to Allah. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so because of your sisters dealing with law and an attorney, is that perhaps where your daughter got some of the love that she has for law?
I would say definitely so, because we have 3. I'm the youngest of 11, so it's 11 of us, and 3 of them are attorneys. My oldest brother is an attorney. Well, was an attorney, then judge, and then state senator, and then judge. And then another one of my brothers was an attorney, and then my sister. So 3 of them, were attorneys. So I would think so. They had Walls Law Firm. My brother had Walls Law Firm in Greenville, Mississippi, where all 3 of them worked together. And it's interesting. When you start finding these things out historically, we had another great uncle that was an attorney. So I think that probably, yeah, it may be genetic. And then, she had the opportunity. My brother, my oldest brother, had a case that we were talking about just a couple of weeks ago. And you could see it on Snap. One of his clients, they featured him and his client on Snap. It's had the opportunity to look at that. So maybe, I don't know, if I would think that that's where her influence came from. Actually, Camila and I decided that we were going to go to law school together. So it's definitely where my influence came from. It's something that I've always wanted to do. I just, chose a different route, but I always wanted to do it. So when she said she was gonna, I used to encourage, hey, come here, let's go to law school together. And she wasn't really interested, but when she became interested, she was like, Mom, we really can't do this. We can go to law school together. So they definitely influenced, my thoughts about it. And I'm certain that was where her influence came from as well.
All praise due to Allah. Beautiful. Shout out to your family. Learning more and more every day on the People's Podcast. People are bearing witness, and thank you everyone who's watching all around the world. I wanted to ask you about your favorite memory with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Oh, wow. Gosh, I have so many memories. I'm, so many fond memories. I don't know that I can say what my favorite is because they all were just so good.
Yes,
but I
ma'am.
just remember when we were in Belize, we were on the Caribbean tour, and
okay.
I often help Sister Mary Alice. I help her. I tell her she's one of the hardest. She and Sister Amy are, like the hardest working women in the Nation of Islam. So I was helping her when we were in Belize one time, and we were, they make a way out of no way. So we were all the way across in the hotel. We were like way on the other, kitchen was way on the other side of the hotel from the minister's room. And I was working with her. It's like it was hot, we worked. But now the rest of the sisters, they were out, they were getting to go to different things. And I was like, history will never show that I was even in Belize. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is not even gonna know I was here. And we worked all week, but went on maybe the day before I got ready to leave, she told me, here, take this. I want you to take this to the minister's room. And I took this platter to the minister's room. And then when I walked in, I think he was, I don't want to mistake. My mind is telling me that it was Brother Jabril, but I'm not sure. He was sitting there talking with someone. And when I walked in, he said in his Caribbean accent, there's me daughter, there's me daughter, like real affectionately. And I was like, oh, this was just worth the whole week of me walking back and forth and sweating and nobody seeing me and nobody knowing I was here. He knows, he knows I was here. All praises due to Allah. So just, the minister is always so gracious and just so, he just so grateful, for the sacrifice of the believers and the love of the believers, and it just exudes. So just, I knew that it was love for me, of course, but love for the appreciation just for the sacrifice of being there, because we make a sacrifice to be there. All of the believers do, and I and my husband made a sacrifice for me to come and stay and go from island to island. And I called Jeffrey, can I go to this one? Can I keep going? But for him to just honor me by, calling me his daughter, I was like, wow, praise be to Allah. I know that's really, I don't know, but that's near and dear to my heart for sure.
Absolutely, that's beautiful. Yes, ma'am. Praise be to Allah. And people bearing witness. And Sister Kathleen, Brother Kente says he sees more of the beneficent feminine nature manifesting out of the women from NDT than most places he's been in society. Brother Kente is world traveler. Thank you very much. Sister Monifa says she loves a good documentary, and this is top tier. Sister Shantae, beautiful. Thank you, Sister Iris. And Sister Camila says praise be to Allah and beautiful. Also, can you please let future attorney Sister Camila know we got to get a one-on-one interview with her so we can know her side of it, what made her follow in the footsteps of the family, and all of that good stuff. So we got to interview Sister.
Definitely, I got two for you, Sister Iris and Sister Camila.
Camila, exactly. Sister Mary says beautiful testimony from a phenomenal and genuine woman. Love you, Sister Cat. Beautiful. This is what Camilas Podcast is all about. Now, speaking of Houston and world traveling, so of course, as you know, my wife lives in Houston, or what comes from Houston, resides in Houston. Her name is Beyonce Knowles. What yes, ma'am. It's great, great soil down there. Shout out to Third Ward.
Okay.
Yes,
Got it.
yes, ma'am.
Try to get over to the mosque. We'll work on that.
Man, I mean, keep trying to tell her she got to be a vanguard. You know what I'm saying? Let's fall on in. It's a process. It's a process. Now that the country music is a thing, perhaps the next venture would be, in the vanguard and all that good stuff. NBC. Shout out to that.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, ma'am. In Houston, besides the work of rebuilding the teachings of the Most Honorable, representing the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, under the guidance of the Most Honorable Min Farrakhan, what else do you do for fun in Houston?
What do I do for? I knew you were going to ask me that. And I had, after you asked me that last time, I was talking to somebody and they were like, okay, we got to fix this. You couldn't find anything that you do for fun. So I was on a mission to find something that I do for fun. But, I do have some newfound fun things. I travel. I love traveling, honestly. I may have mentioned that before. I love traveling. I'm on a mission. Well, I was on a mission to visit all 7 continents. Well, I got 2 more, and I don't know that I'll be able to do them in this lifetime because we're on an international ban. But now my goal is to complete travel to all of the 50 states. And,
me too.
Seriously, wow.
Yeah, me too.
So that's my goal. Look, I got my little app that tracks them for me. Yeah, so I love traveling. So I had the opportunity a few weeks ago to travel to Sedona, and I went hiking. Actually, I think I want to say for the first time. So that was really fun. I spent the weekend with some amazing sisters and just an opportunity to bond and just let my hair down, let my headpiece down and my hair down, and just woosah was good, to see the dark, just stargazing. Stargazing was fun to me, trying to, the planes, the baby planes.
Exactly.
Fun, really just being able to just relax and just spend time, with the sisterhood that's fun for me. It really is fun. And traveling, going to new places or even places that I've been and doing new things. I like that.
Oh, praise due to a lot. Okay, I want to stay right there. So the 50 state thing, every time I tell people, mainly my siblings, I'm gonna go to all 50 states. They're like, you didn't go to Dubai yet? You didn't go 50 states in America. That's what I wanted to do before there was a ban. I always wanted to see, because like you said, you went to Sedona. My brother used to live in Phoenix, and he's telling me like 2 hours away, they got snow in the mountains and moose. All kind of. I'm like, see, I gotta go there. I want to go to one of my favorite movies called Vacation. Came out like 8 years ago, but there's a place where all 4 states meet in the middle, and people went there on vacation. I saw it in the movie. I was like, I gotta go there. Where it's 4 states.
You gotta tell me where that is. I gotta go there. I'm thinking Midwest someplace, probably.
I want to go, and there in Hershey, Pennsylvania, they got a whole amusement park based off of Hershey. The chocolates and stuff. I'm like, it's so American, can we master 50 states before we, everybody was like, Josh, you gotta go to the DR, you gotta go to, we're gonna come to all those places. We're gonna go to Mexico, I'm gonna go to Australia, all of that, but 50 states is where I want to start, and then I'll go.
Yeah, I'm with you. I definitely, I like traveling abroad also. I've done a lot of travel abroad though. So I only had a couple more places that I really wanted to visit. But the 50 states, yeah, that was actually a goal that I started when Camila was a child. So I would, whenever we would travel someplace, I would get a postcard from wherever we went, so I could, document, where she had been in the United States. So I don't think that she's been to all of them that I've been to, but that's how I actually started on this quest. And then I was like, you know what? I really want to do it. Then I came up with this marketing idea that I'm gonna, show garments from every state in America. We're gonna do this tour with Camilas Closet and showing fashions that represents all of the states in America. But yeah, I definitely want to do it. That's on my list of things to do.
There's a lot. Beautiful.
You gotta share your places with me, but definitely gotta share me that one that all 4 states cross.
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's a done deal. And because I also want to say, I just got some equipment yesterday, but within the next 2 weeks, I'll have my sound man was texting me now doing in-person interviews. So I had to get the right mic, the right sound. So I'm working on all that so that when I'm traveling to these 50 states, I'll be doing interviews and I'll keep you up. But again, in-person interviews, People's Podcast. Y'all stay tuned. You want to see how we
Nice. Yeah.
real soon, real soon, real soon, very soon, inshallah. Sister Faye Muhammad, Lancaster, Pennsylvania is nice. It's Amish country. Okay. She says Hershey Park is amazing. I did the chocolate tasting there, had a great time. See, look, you know what I'm saying? We all connected. St. Louis in the building, Supreme Painting and Detailing. St. Louis, Brother Kente said Flagstaff, Arizona is where you would see snow on the mountains north of Phoenix. Excellent. You see beautiful places. Brother Abdul Aleem Ansari says she's always having fun. Sister Sadia, Tiny Sadia Kareem says she's a sister. Sister Alexis Ali says beautiful testimony, and she loves you, Sister Captain.
Praise for Allah. Love
yes,
you
ma'am.
too.
And on that,
I have fun laughing with him all the time.
Okay, good. Shout out to our brother. And on that beautiful note, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, for coming on to the People's Podcast. This means a lot to myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast. We love you. This is going to be an ongoing series, inshallah. Shout out to 45. Keep holding it down in Houston. And very soon, when y'all see my wife pull up, just know Beyonce, she's coming to the march. Mark my words. We'll make it happen.
We look, we're ready to receive her.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we ready to pour the hospitality on for sure.
Excellent. Well, this is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off of the People's Podcast. Thank you, Sister Student Captain Maalikah Muhammad.
Welcome.
Thank you all for watching. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.